a key point here is access. And there are populations who you would consider actually at risk based on socioeconomic factors, and um, who may not actually have access to healthcare. And unfortunately, they are in some of the highest risk categories for things like viral hepatitis. So examples of that are hepatitis B, which we rarely see because of vaccination, has had such a incredible impact in reducing the prevalence of hepatitis B in the United States. But people who are immigrants from countries where it's an endemic disease, they need to be screened for hepatitis B. Hepatitis C disproportionately affects groups that may not necessarily go and seek health care, including homeless, incarcerated, um, uh, injection drug use, and and then fatty liver disease, which I mentioned earlier, the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease can be associated with people who uh, may not be following a good diet, food insecurity, things like that. Those are things that are associated with not having health care or not having access to health care. So actually, those are examples of chronic liver diseases that are affecting people that may not necessarily be seeking health care on a regular basis. So that just kind of shows you the need to really outreach to those communities in an effort to reduce the burden of liver disease in the US. So there are certain risk factors that are associated with an at-risk population who should be screened for liver disease. That includes people who have diabetes, um, people who have obesity, and some other risk factors like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, um, those who have a family history of liver disease. So if they say, oh, well, my siblings and my parents, they all had liver disease, that's a person who needs also should be evaluated. Um, People who have a history of excessive alcohol use. So just through a provider taking a history, a medical history, and then understanding their alcohol use, that may raise some concerns related to risk of liver disease. And anyone who may have had some high risk exposures or come from a country that has exposures to things like hepatitis B, for example. And if during their usual medical care from a specialist standpoint, they identify abnormal liver function tests or a scan, an imaging study that reveals an abnormality of the liver, like fatty liver or a suggestion that there's cirrhosis, those are all individuals who may need further screening. That's a really important point because many people will ask, what's the point? Why do we need to screen or recognize, um, identify people with liver disease at an early time point? And the reason is that, getting back to the nature of the liver as a vital organ, it's also an organ that's capable of repairing itself. And many of these conditions, even if a person does have evidence of advancing or progressive liver disease, um, it's reversible. It's actually reversible. So that includes fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, um, that what we refer to as the metabolic dysfunction-associated fatty liver, alcohol-related liver disease, and even viral hepatitis. It can be treated. And then we can actually stop the progression of their liver disease, and it's reversible. So you can actually avoid cirrhosis, and the liver can actually return to an improved function and move further away from cirrhosis.